It all started on a Sunday morning, just as the sun slipped past the ridge and kissed the dew off my cabbage rows. I was sipping my coffee on the porch, boots up, peace humming through the air, until I heard it. The unmistakable clack of high heels on gravel. I turned my head, and there she was. Karen, dressed like she was about to give a TED talk on passive-aggressive yard signage. She waved, then marched straight up my porch like she paid rent on it. "Hi, I'm Karen, president of the Windcrest HOA, and I've noticed you're not a member." I nodded, sipped again, and gave her the only reasonable answer. "Correct." That didn't sit well. Welcome to Prodigy Tales. Make sure you like and subscribe for your top-notch HOA drama. Karen didn't miss a beat. She pulled out a thick pamphlet like it was a golden ticket to some kind of Stepford utopia. "Joining the HOA comes with benefits, you know," she chirped. "You'd get monthly bulletins, architectural oversight, trash can enforcement." She leaned in like she was selling a timeshare, whispering, "And power, a voice in the community. You'd be part of something bigger than yourself." I nearly choked on my coffee. "Ma'am, I grow pumpkins the size of toddlers. That's already bigger than anything your HOA's running." She blinked, smiled tightly, and said, "Well, I'll give you time to reconsider." Over the next few days, she popped by like a Jehovah's Witness with a vendetta. First, it was HOA brochures in my mailbox, twice a day. Then came the neighborly drop-ins, where she'd sneakily inspect my barn like it owed her HOA dues. She even offered me a trial membership like she was dangling a carrot in front of a mule. I said no, repeatedly, politely, firmly. But Karen wasn't used to hearing no. Her smile started to crack. I could tell. The friendly mask was melting, and what lay underneath was the twitchy soul of a suburban dictator denied her tribute. I figured that'd be the end of it. But I'd underestimated Karen's capacity for pettiness. She walked back to her house that day with the grace of a woman plotting a cold war, and I swear she glanced back at my farm like it was land she meant to conquer. When I didn't buckle and join her HOA empire, Karen switched gears like a vulture that spotted a limping animal. Her first tactic? Noise complaints. Real original. She called the county 3 times in 1 week, once for my rooster crowing at dawn, it's a farm, Karen, once for the aggressive mooing of my cow Matilda, and then again because she claimed my tractor backfiring shattered her spiritual aura. Yeah, apparently carburetor trouble is now a criminal offense in HO land. The officials rolled their eyes harder with each visit, but Karen, she took notes. Literal notes. On a clipboard. With timestamps. Soon, she tried weaponizing the neighborhood. It started small. Her gossip grapevine dropped subtle hints. "You know, he's not really one of us," she told the Johnsons during a Sunday block brunch. "Not a team player." By Tuesday, old Mr. Fisher gave me the stink eye while walking his poodle. By Friday, someone tossed a bag of HOA welcome flyers over my fence like it was contraband. A few folks still waved at me, but their smiles had the tightness of people who'd been warned not to associate with the unwashed, non-HOA masses. Then came the real game changer. A formal cease and desist letter stuffed in my mailbox, hand-delivered in a hot pink envelope, no less. It accused me of violating a community uniformity guideline. Her proof? Apparently my scarecrow's hat didn't match the HOA-approved seasonal decor palette. I laughed so hard I almost stapled it to my chicken coop as a warning to future tyrants. But Karen wasn't done. She got bold. One morning, I woke up to find a line of bright orange cones placed at the edge of my property, blocking my driveway. A handwritten sign read, HOA Construction Zone, Members Only. I moved the cones with my front loader. That earned me another complaint. Illegal heavy equipment operation. She even tried to get my Amazon deliveries redirected to an approved HOA location for screening. Who does that? The tipping point came when she cornered me outside the feed store and hissed, "You'll be out of here soon enough. You'll see." Her tone wasn't just smug, it was cocky, confident, like she had something bigger in the works. And that's when I knew this wasn't just about an HOA anymore. This was personal. After weeks of relentless pettiness, sabotage, and Karen acting like the self-appointed sheriff of suburban hell, I realized something important. This wasn't a fight anymore. This was war. And I was done playing defense. I wasn't just going to push back. I was going to push her whole plastic throne off a cliff. So I did what farmers do best, got my hands dirty. But this time, not with soil, with paperwork. I paid a visit to the county recorder's office, a place I knew Karen had never stepped foot in because it didn't serve wine or power. I asked for every legal document ever filed under Windcrest HOA. The clerk looked at me like I'd asked to read the Magna Carta. After 3 hours, a thumb drive, and a 2-pound stack of printed records, I had it, the skeleton in their perfectly power-washed closet. Turns out, Windcrest HOA had a shady little foundation story. It had been formed 20 years ago by 3 homeowners in a meeting that barely met quorum, and get this, some of the signatures on the original filing? Forged. Sloppy, obvious forgeries too. One guy, whose name appeared as a founding voter, had been deceased for 6 months when the paperwork was filed. Dead men don't join HOAs, Karen. It got worse. The HOA had been operating outside their chartered boundaries for years, illegally claiming power over properties they had no jurisdiction over, including mine. On top of that, there were financial records. Oh, the financial records. Karen had borrowed HOA funds to host events at a spa she happened to co-own. She paid herself with community dues for things like energy cleansing consultations and decorative mailbox revitalization. I nearly choked when I saw a $4,000 invoice labeled Emergency Crystal Alignment for Communal Harmony. Tax fraud, misuse of funds, unauthorized jurisdiction. She wasn't running an HOA. She was running a cult with a checking account. I built a file, a thick, shiny file with every piece of damning evidence you could dream of. I cross-referenced it, highlighted the juicy bits, and dropped a copy off with a county investigator whose eyes lit up like he'd just found a golden ticket to career promotion. I wasn't just going to defend my farm anymore. I was about to make sure Karen's entire fake fiefdom burned so hot the HOA acronym would need rebranding. I was in my field feeding the goats when the sirens rolled in. 3 black and white cruisers pulled up outside Karen's colonial fortress, lights flashing like Vegas. She came out in her usual pearls and pastel blazer, trying to act shocked, but her Botox couldn't twitch fast enough to fake innocence. The lead officer handed her a stack of papers thicker than her HOA rulebook. Fraud, embezzlement, and filing false government documents. Her jaw hit the HOA-approved gravel. I stood at the fence, sipping lemonade, watching her throw a tantrum while they cuffed her next to her hydrangeas. She screamed about misunderstandings and ungrateful residents, and even tried to accuse me of planting fake evidence. But the investigator, bless his soul, said, "Ma'am, we've got 25 witness statements and a signed confession from your treasurer. You're cooked." As they drove off, she caught my eye through the cruiser window. I raised my glass and tipped it like a salute. She didn't wave back. Now here's the best part. With Karen behind bars and the HOA's dirty laundry flapping in public, the board fell into shambles. Members quit faster than a gym in February. Emergency meetings were called, lawyers were consulted, but nothing could erase the fact that the HOA's foundation was built on a lie. The county issued a cease and desist order against the entire HOA. Then, as if fate had a sense of humor, I received a letter, an invitation to become the interim executive of the same HOA that tried to evict me. Apparently, the community trusted me now. I read the offer once, laughed, and tossed it into the fire pit. Instead, I filed a petition backed by 63 residents, most of whom once hated my guts, to dissolve the HOA completely. It passed unanimously. The Windcrest HOA died that day, and no one mourned it. People held a block party to celebrate. There were burgers, fireworks, and someone brought a piñata shaped like a clipboard. We burned every HOA flyer we could find. As for my farm, it's quieter now. No more surprise inspections, no pink envelopes, just peace. The end. Please like and subscribe for more HOA showdowns like this. Do you think Karen got what she deserved? Comment below.